Okay, students. So, on the concept of rotatory motion, we have another topic, that is moment of inertia. So, in the regarding that moment of inertia, we need to know about the what is inertia, right? So, inertia, we know that inertia is the inability of your rotatory body, or also inability of your body, which is doesn't change its state of rest or state of linear motion about a linear axis. Okay, this is what inertia. And second, the full name, the moment of inertia is known as same the inability of a rotatory body which doesn't change its state of rest or linear motion against a linear axis. Okay, so regarding that, we are going to take an example with an axis x and x dash. We have that, and a body which is going to rotating about somewhat distance about the same axis. Okay, so regarding that, which is going to rotate about the same axis. Okay, right. So after that, which is have a mass of the body, and the distance between the axis and the body is known as r. Okay, how much of the body is going to same. Okay, so in this concept, the body moment of inertia is acts as a against the motion. Okay, at any condition, the inertia is acts against the motion, and the moment of inertia purely depends upon the mass only. Okay, so if you consider the mass is going to accelerate, and that means increase, the moment of inertia is also going to increase. Okay, if mass is going to decrease, the moment of inertia is also going to decrease. So simply the inertia is another name of that for the mass. Okay, so how it is going to work properly? So let us take the equation for the mass moment of inertia. So of course we called it as also mass moment of inertia, and the moment of inertia, that is equal to mass into square of the distance of the axis from the body, right? Okay, so mass, which is the rotatory body mass, and r is the distance between the axis and the rotatory body. Okay, rotary body. So this is what the equation for the moment of inertia, and the units like considered as mass for kg, and r is the meter square, simply, yes, meter square, and kg meter square is the units for the moment of inertia. Okay, regarding this, if this is a particle of only one particle, but in another condition, we have different types of masses which are placed in a same plane. So on that concept, let us consider a body which number of things m1, m2, m3 and m4. Okay, these are the different masses which are going to exist in your same plane. So obviously the masses also, the distance also going to change. Regarding that, we have the distances considered r1, r2, r3 and r4. Okay, so in this type, what are the equation is going to how, right? So we are going to write the equation, right? See the moment of inertia of a different things. So on the concept, let us write that m1 is the mass, so r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square, and so on like that. Okay, up to mn and rn square. Okay, this is what the number of particles or number of masses are placed in a plane which is going to rotate in the about an axis. Okay, so this is what the distances. For example, let us consider moment of inertia. If you want to write simply, that is like sigma m1 r1 square, simply you can write it as. Okay, or else if you consider, see, the radius is going to be same. If the mass is going to constant and the radius is going to constant, you can write it as same, sigma m1 sigma mr square directly, sigma into mr square. That means m number of m's and number of r's which are is going to equal. That means r1 comma r2 comma r3 and so on, all are going to equal r. Okay, same as m1 equal to m2 equal to m3, like that. Then this is what the equation. If doesn't equal, those parameters are not equal, Now the equation is going to be like that. M moment of inertia is equal to sigma into mi into ri whole square. Okay, this is what the equation for the different masses are going to rotate about an axis which is the different distances. This is what the equation we can write. So you can place the I in that number of value in the place of I. Okay, right. So for example, this is considered a rigid body. If it is a rigid body, then how the equation is going to be changed? For that we are going to write that the equation for we can choose the integration method. So regarding that, we have the equation for number of different terms. So regarding that, if it is a rigid body, this is what the constant body, and equation for rigid body equation, that is going to homogeneous equation, right? Further we are going to change the di, which means the change in the moment of inertia with respect to the body is equal to the change in the mass, that is going to change, but the equation the distance won't change. That's why r is constant. And so after that we can apply the integration, integral di, that is going to change, integral di equal to integral of dm into r square. So simply that is I equal to integral dm into r square. You can write it as simply what is the value of the, if you suppose to apply the value of the mass, and you can solve the equation like this. This is what the homogeneous equation, we are calling that this one is homogeneous equation, because of that the body is going to rigid body. Okay, this is what the moment of inertia and regarding number of different concepts. So after that we have another topic is there, that is what radius of gyration. Radius of gyration is the concept that is going to find out the distance from the center of mass. So we are all knowing that the what is center of mass here, the body which is acts the gravitational force at the point of a body, that is known as center of mass. So from the center of mass, the distance to the from axis to the center of mass exactly is going to the radius of gyration. Okay, so you know that the gravitational force act on the body at a point is known as simply center of mass. So the distance from the axis which is going to rotate a body, from the axis, the center of mass, the in between distance is known as radius. Okay, that radius is known as radius of gyration, which is going to indicate by k. So the difference between this one and the previous one, so let us consider y and y dash here, y and y dash, and which is going to rotate about a body, and this is the mass. Okay, this is the mass, and this is the k, that is radius of gyration. Okay, so in this regarding we have the equation that I equal to mk square. Simply the difference is that here to here is in previous we are directly finding the distance of the mass. Okay, there is no concept of the center of mass, but here we need to find out the distance from the axis to the center of mass. So that is what the radius of gyration to the previous one. Okay, that's why we are going to write here. So how much of k, if you want to find out that, you can write directly it as square root of I by m. Square root of I by m. This is the equation for the radius of gyration. So what is the word here? Radius of gyration. Okay, simply the number of particles, or else not only one particle, you can place the number of particles. Those particles are all acting at a same center of mass. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These 5 particles are acts at a point, the gravity is going to act at the same point, that is midpoint. So from the midpoint to the axis, that is known as k, that is what radius of gyration. Not all, from all are going to is simply that their radius only, okay, r, but the center of mass, that is what k. This is what the difference between the radius and radius of gyration. Okay, you can find out this radius of gyration like this. The moment of inertia in difficult conditions, we are taking that another axis which is our perpendicular or parallel. So further we have two theorems are there. One is parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem. Okay, so in the parallel axis theorem, we are going to take another axis which is parallel to the primary axis. For the causing difficulties with the, for example, the body is full of masses. We need to find out a mass. We need to find out the distance between the a mass and the axis. So in this regard, we need to find out the moment of inertia. Okay. So for that we are going to consider a axis which is parallel to the primary rotatory axis, and the distance between the mass and that secondary axis is x. Okay, x, and the total distance between these two bodies is d. Let us consider d. Okay. Now the moment of inertia on its self body. This is the body, and the inertia is another small body. Okay, that small body with its own axis. Okay, so for that axis we have the equation dICM equal to, okay, that means center of mass, which is going to be rigid. dICM equal to mass into the distance square of distance. That means mass is here, axis is here, distance is x. Okay, mass into square of x square. Okay, so if you want to multiply with the number of whole masses, then you can write it as sigma cm ICM equal to sigma of mass into x square. Okay, right, this is what the equation here, ICM equal to sigma into mx square. Okay, now we need to find out the moment of inertia equal to the original moment of inertia from this axis. I equal to mass into, here the mass is there and the distance is this one here now. Now it is going to change. What is the value here? This term, that is total distance is d, and the axis and the axis axial distance x. So d minus x, that is we can write it as d minus x, right? So the square of distance means d minus x whole square. Okay, we can write the substitute the a minus b whole square formula. Now mass into a square plus b square minus 2 into ab, 2dx. Okay, this is what the formula. Now I equal to multiply with the mass, that is md square plus mx square minus 2dmx, right? Now if you want to multiply with that same one, now for this simple body is x and number of bodies is, we can put the symbol sigma. Okay, this is for the total, and sigma md square. If you consider d is the constant here, so sigma m, you can write separate the d square from outwards. We can write sigma m plus sigma mx square and minus 2d sigma mx. Okay, this is what the theorem. So you can find this the sigma mx square. For the rigid body, the moment of inertia is going to 0. We can eliminate this term. Okay, on that concept there is no multiplication of number of terms. You can eliminate all sigma also, right? Regarding that, I equal to md square, we can eliminate sigma and md square plus this term is which is equal to the ICM. Okay, md square plus ICM, this term is going to be 0. Okay, so I equal to md square plus ICM. This is what the equation for total inertia. Okay, moment of inertia when the condition for parallel axis theorem. ICM is the inertia of the own self body, and md square is the inertia from the rotatory axis. ICM is the inertia from the center of mass axis, and md square is the inertia from this axis. This is the equation for the I equal to md square plus ICM. This is the equation for the parallel axis theorem when you want to find out the moment of inertia. Okay, so the second thing is perpendicular axis theorem. Okay, what's the perpendicular axis theorem is going to state that the sum of moment of inertia of a plane lamina of a perpendicular axis about perpendicular two perpendicular axes is, and which is equal to the same plane lamina with the axis is going to perpendicular about two axes. Okay, so we can directly equate that from the definition. So what is the definition is saying? The sum of moment of inertia of a plane lamina, the two equations about the two equations which is the perpendicular. Okay, So that means Ix of a moment of inertia plus Iy, Ix square plus Iy square, okay, of the moment of inertia, okay, or else you can write it as without square also, okay, Ix plus Iy, okay, which is equal to the another perpendicular equation which is passing from the center joining point of these two perpendicular equations, which means the z-axis is going to pass from these two axes corner point, okay. These two moments of inertia is equal to the third equation. That is what the perpendicular axis theorem is going to set, okay. So we are naming that x is going to distance is m and y is going to distance is n and z is going to be distance is r, okay, right. So now I will take into the example of z. So of course z is so Iz equal to Ix plus Iy. This is what the definition, okay. Simply I will write in some words, not exact definition. See, you can remember it is easily. The total sum of moment of inertia, sum of moment of inertia is of a two perpendicular axis, of a two perpendicular axis, that is these two axes x and y, is equal to another perpendicular axis which is passing through the corner point of the two perpendicular axes, okay. This is what the definition. So simply the another perpendicular axis is Iz and these two perpendicular axes is Ix and Iy, okay. This is what the definition. Now we need to find out this equation. How? So I will take, for that I will consider a Pythagoras theorem. For that I need a right angle triangle. For that I will consider a y. For that Ix equal to, consider the moment of inertia in terms of x-axis. So for that Ix equal to mass into square of distance between the axes, right? So if the body is going to perpendicular on this direction, the moment of inertia from x-axis is Ix equal to mass into the distance of Iy. So Ix is the perpendicular to Iy. If it is the x is going to rotate about y, then the distance is parallel to the y-axis. That's why I will take small y, okay. And then consider that is the distance is y. So y square is the distance of the perpendicular distance to the axis, okay. So next Iy equal to same as Iy equal to, here is the y-axis and which is going to rotate about x-axis, right, like this, okay. In that, regarding that, we have the perpendicular distance is which is parallel to y, right. So that is x, which is small x, and this one is small y. So now I will write mass into square of distance of perpendicular distance mx square, okay. Now consider this one is a perpendicular right angle triangle, and from the Pythagoras theorem, what is the Pythagoras theorem? Is hypotenuse square equal to side square plus side square, right? So by using that equation, r square equal to, this one hypotenuse, r square equal to x square plus y square, right? This is the Pythagoras theorem. Of course, Iz equal to, from Ix and Iy, Iz equal to m into r square. How we can find out? If it is x, if it is y, the perpendicular axis is going to the point of contact, r is the distance here. So I will choose r square. Now substitute this equation to the same place. We will finding that Iz equal to mass into r square. That means x square plus y square. Okay. Iz equal to mx square plus my square. Okay. So simply Iz equal to mx square means Iy. My square means Ix. So Iz equal to Iy plus Ix. Okay. This is going to be proved in the equation of perpendicular axis theorem. That means the sum of moment of inertia of a two perpendicular axis is equal to the perpendicular another perpendicular axis which is going to pass the same joining point through the joining point that is equal to the same plane. These three are must in same lambda. Okay, this is what the perpendicular axis. If the body is going to be perpendicular, you can find out the moment of inertia. You choose perpendicular theorem. If the body is going to be parallel, you can choose the moment of for finding the moment of inertia, that is parallel axis theorem. These are the some things or some theorems which is going to exist in a rotatory motion. Of course, rotatory motion, finding moment of inertia, gyroscopy, radius of gyration, and parallel axis theorem, perpendicular axis theorem. These things are coming in the some theorems for bits. Okay, directly theory bits. That's why it doesn't take any problematic here. So you can update the you can daily thoroughly update the definitions and equations daily. That's why from that you can got a multiple marks. Okay, right. Thank you.